so that we can.
No.
Maybe it'll help.
Maybe.
Now,
yeah.
are we
what?
Are we doing the like just that, or is it everybody gets a pick to pick, or?
Oh, hey guys! Welcome to episode 24 of Europe. She's just chatting along,
chatting away,
chat away. You know what? My ex-wife, whenever the ladies get together, what do you call that? Chit-chatting, right? When the ladies get, I call it clucking.
Sure.
Okay.
She hated that so much. I loved it. I was like, oh, you're clucking. Why do you have to say it like that? Well, why not? It's pretty funny. You were clucking.
The hen fest, you know?
Yeah.
The hen fest. Clucking.
That's good stuff. All right. Now, Shannon, I have took the responsibility of thinking of a trivia question for Dream Theater. It's only one question, and it's for John. I don't think you would know it, though.
For me.
Probably not.
We talked, well, the only reason I say this, 2 weeks ago, I figured out something accidentally, and I don't know if John knows the answer to this. You ready? You said in a comment, oh yeah, James Labrie had to do vocal lessons for Scenes of a Memory, right? Remember that?
Shannon, do you remember that?
I'm asking you, John. Do you remember that?
Oh, do I remember?
Because you said it.
Sound?
Yes. Yes, you did. Remember, you said, oh yeah, James Labrie went to even singing and he got better and blah, blah, blah. Something happened in 94. What happened to James to make him do that? There was an accident. Something happened to him that I did not know for many years until 2 weeks ago. It was something happened to him, and he lived in pain until he went to a vocal coach and he had surgery. What happened?
I feel like I should know this.
I didn't know. And it was I was like, oh, that makes total sense. So if you're wondering, I was watching a YouTube channel. This woman is a singer, but she goes over vocals from different bands, and she did Under a Glass Moon. And then she had an interview with James Labrie called Tea Time. Go figure. He told the story of what happened to him. It was during 94 tour of Japan. Something happened to him.
So that would be
Awake.
Yeah.
During the Awake tour. Something happened to him.
Well,
2 words. It's 2 words.
Swallowed glass.
What is he, hardcore? Holy shit.
Throat stab.
When you're getting close.
No, he
okay, food poisoning. So he had food poisoning on the road, and his vocal cords got so shredded up, he was pushing through it. He had to get surgery years later, and that's why he had to go to a vocal coach. He had a really bad case of food poisoning, and that acid messed up his larynx. Yeah, I did not know it, but it makes sense. I was like, oh, that's why he had to do vocal coaching and everything, learning certain things and stuff like that. I was like,
I feel like throat stab is not close to food poisoning.
It was with throat. It was with throat.
So you got throat.
Reaching.
I was giving you credit. Damn it.
I appreciate it, but
yeah, I know.
That's a reach.
That's Shannon. That's John. And this is Mark. All right.
This is the wheel.
Now. Ooh, I like how you did that. Good job, John. Now, we are starting something new in 2 weeks. And Shannon, would you like to explain what we're doing?
I
Oh,
mean,
is this what I was
I'm-
chatting about at the beginning?
Yes.
yeah, I'm not sure how much explanation is involved, but we will each rotate and pick an album of our choosing for everyone to listen to.
Now, this is your idea, and I love it. I love when you said it. The criteria. Is there a criteria with it?
I did not think that there would be any criteria.
Okay.
My thought was that it would give us the opportunity to either go in a different genre or maybe do like a live album or a compilation album, something that we wouldn't be covering anyway in the show.
Okay.
Kind of mix it
Okay.
up. I did not do that, but you know, we could do that.
But at the end of the show, you're going to give us the album, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And then me and John will decide between us which one will go next. Whatever.
Use JM's coin flip app.
Gotcha. But we'll discuss that at the end of the show, right?
You don't have it? What?
Uh-oh.
I have so much crap on my phone. I think I got rid of it,
Oh.
but well, let me see. Let me see.
You have
I
a coin
thought that-
flip app?
Yeah, I thought that was
did,
just like
yeah.
staple JM app.
How about you just have a real coin?
Well, that requires you to have a real coin.
I
Well-
do. What that requires that you have the real coin on you all the time. And let's face it, sometimes I like to wear gym shorts, and having a real flipping coin that is the official flipping coin does not always like to hang out in gym shorts. That's all I'm saying.
That's a good point. Good point. Okay. All right. You got me there. I will
I mean,
admit
unless-
defeat.
Unless I start wearing like a fanny pack or something.
Then
Oh, don't
we
be
will
that guy. Dude, I'm not about it.
We will have a talk, John. Off air. Feelings
Oh,
will be
naturally.
hurt. Feelings will be hurt. Words will be said. All right.
Drop the comments.
Yeah, write the comments.
Put it in the comments.
Write in the comments. What do you think? So
What do you
today-
think about fanny packs?
What do you think about fanny
What do you
packs?
think about
Are they
fanny packs?
cool? Were they part of the times? Were they just a fad? Hey, The Rock
They're
had one.
they're back now though.
I know, and it's
That's-
horrible.
That's the
But
thing.
it's a cross here now.
Is it satchel?
I mean, I get that, but it
No, I mean they're trying to make it like a thing where it's like, oh, I'm going to put it over, like my chest or whatever, instead of
like
where it should be around your waist, like you were in the 90s.
Yeah, and you held your tape player right there,
just-
Right there.
right there. Did I have one? No, I knew better. Just saying. I had a book bag. What do I need a fanny pack? I got pockets. The hell I need this for? Just saying.
Hey, well, if you're wearing your gym shorts, backpacks
the-
are
I'm
not
at the
okay.
gym.
You- Or because see, you also had your like half cut off sleeve shirt and your half shirt with your Zubaz pants that may or may not have had pockets.
Holy shit, John. What a great reference.
Okay, that's
There was like, yeah, I never wore that.
you painted a lovely word picture just now. That was good. That was
Yes.
really good.
Hey, growing
There
up
you go.
in the 90s, that's what happened.
I never did that. I always had cut off sleeve shirts. That was my thing as a kid too. Always had the cut off and the striped socks. Who didn't have the striped socks?
I think it was
know what I mean?
mandatory to have them.
I know. It was 80s established. Just like that.
Yep.
So all right. Are we ready to go with this?
Yeah.
Shameless promotion, my brother's site. As of today, he is starting to stream on Twitch at least once a week, him making his stuff and explaining stuff. So today he started I think he might be still live, like 4 hours, still making it or whatever. So, yeah. So he has 3 cameras. It shows the overhead of what he does, the other stuff, and yeah, it's pretty cool. A lot of work. It's really hot.
Awesome.
So, yeah, tell me about it. Pretty cool part too. Hit the shop that's taking this stuff. They are remodeling or doing something, but they still want him. Hey, we need your stuff's flying off the shelves. We gotta get more. And then he's like, all right. So my brother's thinking about going to places, doing tournaments, and like showing up with the trailer and kind of getting out and about. I really hope he does that. Oh, I can't.
Yeah,
wait.
man, that's awesome, dude.
So yeah, he started. So next year be something different. So that'd be pretty cool. So
yeah,
but
cool.
we'll get into the wheel as we show the tier list. We got shredding, we got bitching, which I forgot, and I had to figure out which it was. So I was like, oh, what was it called? And I looked back, I was like, bitching. We got the local lawnmower, we got meh, and my favorite, dumpster fire. So that's the good stuff.
That's the stuff you want.
That's the stuff. Today we're going to talk about Europe from Sweden. Started in 1979 or something like that.
Something like
And
that, yeah.
11 albums deep, which is pretty cool. Kind
Quite a
of
big gap.
There was a huge gap, at least decades worth, 15, something like that.
About 10 years,
Yeah.
I think. Then they did like a one-off, and then a couple years after that.
Yeah.
We'll get into it. We'll get into it.
I mean, 91 to 2004. That's a big gap. That's a huge gap.
Yeah, they did, because there was that one-off show they did, I think, for New Year's Eve, like 99. Maybe?
Yes. John, I like when you're the local date man of everything that knows the dates. The calendar man, if you will.
and then yeah, like they're like, hey, this is not bad. We'll do a reunion thing, and then they, from like 2003 till the present. So
yeah. Well, John, since you're Mr. Calendar Man, you can start the show as we start the wheel. Ooh, I like your background there, Shannon.
Oh,
thank you.
What room are you in?
This is my living room.
Oh.
Yeah. Cool. Tiny humans are asleep upstairs, so
tiny humans.
Yeah.
It's a travel day, so it's
Oh, their schedule's all kinds of jacked up. We're hopefully get them back in. I don't know. Silas is at school tomorrow, so wee.
Yay.
So which one is that one?
That one.
That is Start from the Dark.
Start from the Dark. So that's the first album of what I affectionately will refer to as the New Europe.
Thank you. You are exactly right. Yep. Start from the Dark. 2000? I think it's 2000, 2004.
Yeah. So actually, I said it's funny that we start with this one because I said it's heavier, like with an exclamation point.
Yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And
that is
like
yep.
The thing that hits me with this is like it's heavier, right? And then you've got like the vocals don't quite match the music. And what I mean by that, you know what I mean by that? Like where he's still like his vocal style is still like the old Europe.
Sure. Yep.
And it doesn't quite match with the kind of new metal grunge mashup thing they're going for here.
Okay.
with
Mm.
their 80s guitar solos that are kind of out of place.
Okay.
Um,
I feel
and
it's
I like, and also can we talk about how you have a song called Song Number 12, and it's in the seventh like track spot. Like, it's
Oh,
that
Yeah.
that.
just
Oh, it
like
made
a
me itchy.
was that
That's
just
not.
like a
It's not okay.
like was that on purpose that they're like, we're just gonna mess with people with this because
Well,
or
you got a band in Europe. Nobody's taking you seriously, anyways. I mean, you
This
know,
is
This
this
is
is
not
not
about
about
being
being
taken
taken
seriously.
seriously. This is just about order and
not
not
making
making
people
people with
high
high
anxiety
anxiety
itchy.
itchy.
Like,
Like,
come
come
on.
on.
and it's for those of us that have like a touch of OCD,
Like
it's just like,
OCD.
what are
Mhm.
you doing here?
Mhm.
a touch.
That song number that song number 12, it's kind of got like it feels kind of like Alice in Chains meets Danzig, kind of to me.
Okay. All right. All right. You
And
know, you
also,
do
I
make a
think-
point with it sounding like Alice in Chains, like the newer stuff. That I didn't put that together until you said it. That does make sense, like to me.
And also, I said that song "Wake Up Call." It sounds like a Godsmack Black Label mashup with a shitty singer.
Wow.
So,
Damn, John. Well, what
Someone's
was
a
your?
little saucy today.
Did you gave it a 7? Arbitrated 7, didn't you?
No.
I gave it a 5.
Yeah, you did. That's what's up.
Oh, okay. All right. So, okay, Shannon, what do we think about Start from the Dark?
Piggybacking, I mean, I basically concur with everything that JM said. The only added note I have is that it was unbalanced, which
It's
I feel like
kind of-
is kind of.
What did you give it?
I gave it 4.
Wow. Okay.
I have a feeling that's going to be your reaction to a lot of the ratings.
Wow. So I tried something new where instead of making points, I put my microphone on and just started talking about the album. So this is kind of a new thing. So if I stop and have to like reread it, because sometimes I feel like it doesn't capture the words I was trying to say, like I'm decoding it. So, but I really, when I listened to it, I was trying to get the real reaction at that moment, and I wanted it to be,
Genuine.
very genuine, very right at that moment. The way the album runs through the songs are very well done, and the band itself I had to do a double take. This is true. I had to make sure I was listening to Europe because when I heard the songs, I was like, "This ain't Europe." I was like, "I got something different." And I look, I'm like,
Very different.
"No, this
Very
is
different sound.
yeah, this is Europe."
Yeah.
The tone and the drumming and the singing was for being revitalizing their careers. Let's think about this is the restart of the career, right? This is a pretty good start if they're going to keep going to say, okay, you know what I mean? This is because this is the start of. So funny enough, I got to say this with quotations. They have this Start of the Dark in 2004, and they got Secret Society 2000. So actually, I listened to the albums backwards. So I listened to the Society first and Start from the Dark. It was weird.
I
Because-
thought Secret Society was 2006.
Secret Society says on Wikipedia. So Start
I
from
have,
the
I
Dark.
have 2006
Yeah.
for that as
And
well.
my Apple said 2000. I was like, oh, okay. So I listened to that one first. And I was like, oh, man, I thought that was the start of their what is it? beginning to come back, I didn't realize that this was. So that's a good thing because I'll tell you what, I like how it goes from the heavy stuff to the light stuff, and it doesn't take itself too seriously. And John, I don't know if I'm out of my mind. I might have been huffing paint. I don't know. Didn't the singer sound like Neil Morris a little bit in some parts? I had a very strong. He's a
I
great
was trying
singer.
to,
Yeah,
I was trying to figure out who it was.
it sounds like Neil Morris, and some of their arrangements has a transatlantic like overtones.
And
They-
I will get into that also on other albums too.
I gave it an 8. I guess I just looked at it now. Also, maybe that 8 was influenced because when you go from Prisoners in Paradise to this, maybe it was I influxed it a little bit. So technically, probably 7.5. You know what I mean? But where would you put it?
I mean, for me, it's a lawnmower.
I'm okay with that. Like that's, it was enjoyable for me. So that makes sense. That's
Oh, don't get me wrong. I didn't hate it. It might sound like I did. But
Well-
no, I mean, I didn't hate it, but it was, I didn't love it.
There is a problem sometimes when I don't know if you guys have this problem with a lot of these bands when you're listening to stuff in order. Are you rating the album for what it is, or are you rating from it's better than this album? I gave it this, so I gotta do this.
I try.
I feel like sometimes I do that. Actually,
I think sometimes
I do that
I
very
do that.
purposefully, actually.
that I do that if listening to it in order, that it's like, yes, this is better than this album, or
so if I gave this a 5, well, this has got to be a 6. You know, it's like
yeah.
I do feel like I do
Because
that
I will-
sometimes.
No, I definitely rate.
You do. Well,
So
I mean,
I'll save it for the end. I don't want to ruin anything.
all right, fair enough. Okay.
Good
So
enough.
so we're going with lawnmower. I think that's fair enough. Personally, maybe bitchin', a low bitchin', but I'm okay with lawnmower. I can listen to it all the time. You know what I mean, type of thing.
Yeah, it's. I mean, again, it's definitely. Again, from the first 5 albums, it was definitely surprising.
Sure. All right, Shannon, you get. Is that Prisoners of Paradise? Yes, it is. Prisoners in Paradise. Ugh. And also, too, can I say I had to listen to 2 albums on YouTube because my Apple did not have it. I was like, what in the hell?
Same.
Oh, that
We've-
sucked.
4
4?
albums.
You had 4 albums? No
4?
shit. I had Bag of
I
Bones.
don't even know.
And I had out of This World. Those 2 albums I could not listen to. I had to go to
Had-
YouTube.
So I had to go to YouTube for Out of This World,
Okay.
Last Look at Eden,
Really?
Bag of Bones, and I think Start in the Dark.
Huh.
No, Start in the Dark's on Spotty.
Really?
Interesting. was-
Uh,
This was the first time I had to go to YouTube for anything. I was like, man,
Oh,
what
no.
the hell?
you know what? No, it wasn't either, brother. You're right. Yeah.
Wow. Jeez.
Yeah, my
Publishing,
poor
man. It's a bitch.
Isn't it though?
Yeah.
No, you stop.
All right, Shannon, you get The Prisoners in Paradise. 1991.
Like, what happened? 91 is such a great year.
For some
Arguably the
people it
best year
was.
ever.
A lot of people's hearts were broken that year.
True, but
That's very true. Yeah.
Lot.
a lot of hearts
Very.
became very full.
Mm.
So, I don't know. It seemed like super overproduced to me.
Okay.
Like there was a lot. There was a lot. It was a lot of stuff.
That is a good way of putting it too.
There's a
You're
lot
not
of
even trying to
stuff.
be funny. You're like, it's just
No,
stuff.
it was a lot of stuff.
It was.
And it
No, there was
obviously
a lot
they
of
didn't
stuff.
have the same sound that they had in the before times.
Right?
So yeah, yeah.
Mm. It's what did you give it? Fair enough.
2.
Fair enough. I hear
Because
you.
a 2 puts that in the dumpster fire.
I'll tell you this much.
Wow.
You can
That makes my rating generous.
I wrote, and I quote, you could tell they try to keep the synthesizer sound and very glam rock as the core of the songs. I can see why they quit after this one because it started to sound the same like other glam rock bands, right? At this time, every glam rock band sounded the same. You had the Guns N' Roses a little bit that kind of pushed themselves out of that realm, but you know what's sad? His voice is really good back in those days, like top notch, good sounding voice. Guitar solos to me were at least thoughtful for the songs. They weren't like trying to be this mountain of whatever. They were part of the songs as they should be.
Mhm.
The drumming, though, goodness gracious. Look, and I wrote, I'm not expecting to be Portnoy.
No.
I'm expecting a little bit of like fills, a little bit of fills to open up the sound. There's a couple good songs. They do have a couple good ones that sound like the old times. To me, they had one or two that sounded like the old times.
You say so.
What? I can't remember. They tried to do like a bar sound to them on a couple of those songs. Like You Got Your Mind in the Gutter, right? Bad Blood, Seventh Sign. You know, they were trying to do kind of this bar like hokey thing. It didn't work. It didn't. And they tried to get hard rock sound, but they had really sappy ones. I gave it a 3. Ugh.
God.
That was one of those
Wow.
albums I was very close of skipping songs because it was just so bad of sappiness. I could have made syrup.
Wow. Geez, my rating seems generous then.
Are
I
you
put
no
in
way.
an arbitrary 5?
Settle down.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Calm down.
I wrote down that the solos, they fit much better. They were actually
They did. They did.
part of the song. It was still your typical 80s glam awfulness.
Regurgitated. I like that word.
I said, but I also said, like, and I don't, because you said there are a couple songs that reminded you of the old times. I wrote that it had, like, this album had potential, but every song just failed.
Couple of them had the potential of at least getting it to a 5 for me, and they just didn't follow through with it. And that is those hard rock, try to be like AC/DC type of feel type songs. And, you know, I can appreciate those songs, but I was like, man, you really could have done something with them. And
Yeah.
like I said, I gave it a 3. I mean,
I gave
she
it a 4.
That's fair. Are we saying this is a dumpster fire already? Are we already claiming
I
one?
I already said that.
She did. She did.
I
Put
already
it there.
said that.
Well,
That's where it goes for me.
it is. Oof. It is. I will not.
No arguments here.
I will not argue with that crap.
You.
What do I get? Hopefully, I get something old or something new. I don't care.
You just want an album.
I just want an album. Do I get? I thought I got the. Nope. I get Out of This World.
Did you skip it? Did you make it go to out of this world?
I know. yeah.
Are you
I
rigging
want
the
to.
wheel?
Yeah, I want to rig the wheel to do Out of This World. You caught me, John. Good job. God. So another dull and lifeless album, to be honest. They show glimpses of their old sound, which I like out of it, but sometimes I just feel like they're just going through the motions of getting back out on the road and just trying to put something back out, right? When Countdown came out, they were trying to capitalize on that sound, and they were trying to do Countdown Part 2. I wish they would have gone back to the older sound a lot more and to say, oh yeah, Countdown was just kind of an experimental. Let's reroute to what we were doing in the first two albums to at least that degree. I gave it a 4. And I think I was generous with a 4, to be honest. John.
Yeah. I think there was a song called "Let the Good Times Rock" or something.
Yeah.
There was, yep.
Yeah.
I said it's very light in the good times of rocking.
Well played on words.
I'm not. So I think there was a song called "Lights and Shadows," but I'm
Think
not
so.
sure if that's what he was talking about in the song.
I'm confused.
I'm a little confused on if that is what he was talking about. No, good lord, how many fucking times did he say "lights and shadows" at the end? Like 97?
Probably. There was a
God,
lot
it's
of
awful.
repetitiveness.
And then just trying to find this damn thing on YouTube pissed me off.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I gave it a 3.
I love this. This is my favorite part.
All right.
What did you give it, Shannon?
I have one note, which is heavier than the final countdown.
Really? Huh.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
5
What
out
did
of
you?
10. Yeah.
Five.
But
I gave-
remember, 5 out of 10 for me, that's where you start. You're starting in lawnmower. Like you are
This
5
is
out
a
of 10.
lawnmower for you?
Yeah, whatever. I don't care.
Sounds like it's a meh to you. To me.
I think it's a meh.
In that
Yeah.
case, then it would be a 4 out of 10.
Yeah. It'd be a meh. For me, it's a
I
meh. It's not a
It's a meh
dumpster
for me.
fire because it still has the I'm not saying Countdown was their best album, but I can at least see the idea of the album, and it's a lot better than Paradise. I personally think Paradise might be their worst album they put out. That's the end of the rope before they hung themselves for a long, long time. Sorry.
Yeah, that's that one's my number 11 album, Prisoners. That's for sure.
Yeah, that was
bad.
revolting, horrible stuff. But you know what's funny? Like, I almost changed tracks on it. Out of This World was the same way for me, but it had a little bit more enjoyability. I don't know how it did, but it did. Oh, you get Last of Eden?
Last
that
Look
Last
of
of
Eden?
Last of Eden,
Yeah.
yes, indeed.
Yeah. That's the Japan cover. That's the only one I get.
Yeah, I saw that one. That was like on YouTube. They
Yeah.
were flipping that around.
Japan. Yeah.
Last look at Eden.
All right.
All
Johnny
right,
boy.
let's see. I said so. You said he sounds like Neil Morse, right? On like Start in the Dark. I was trying to
Yeah.
figure it out, and then I was like, it has like a very Winery Dogs, like this album.
Yes. Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
he
yeah, yeah.
kind of has that Richie Kotzen kind of vocal sound, but not as good as Richie Kotzen. But anyway, we're not
Okay.
gonna. Again, I tend to focus on the not drum solo, good lord, but the drums were a lot better.
Oh yeah. Yep.
I don't know if he went to like, the European school of drumming or something. And if he did, good for him.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I did like the orchestrations. I feel like that they added another layer to the songs. Again, like his vocals, he finally figured out, like, okay, this is the way the music's going. I need to change my vocal range.
Right. Okay.
And yeah, I said that the solos fit better, not just I'm going to play all of the notes that I can think of for 2.5 minutes over something else that doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look at me. Look at me. Look at me.
Yeah, I gave it a 6.
Arbitrary 6. Got it.
Arbitrary
6. Shannon?
I'm working on getting that shirt made, by the way.
Are you? Patent it. That's TM it. Trademark. Yep.
Trademark it. I gotta just figure that out. But
Arbitrary 5.
Arbitrary 5. Okay.
I didn't think there was anything to write home about on this album. It's fine. Put it on. You can listen to it. It's all right. Lawnmower.
And what did you give it, John? A 6?
I gave it a 6.
Okay. All right.
So that's like it's borderline.
Borderline meh to lawnmower, right? Kind of. This is my second favorite out of the band.
Of course it is.
8.5.
When you say, like I said borderline, I actually meant borderline bitchin' lawnmower. Not
bitchin' lawnmower. You gave it a 6 though.
I know, because it's arbitrary.
It's arbitrary. Oh, I'm sorry.
I mean, to be fair, that's how my rating is. 5 and 6 is lawnmower. 7 and 8 is bitchin'. So 6 would be a borderline.
Yeah, it seems to be a borderline. I mean, I wrote it. Just the change in the sound makes the band even look better, which piggybacks on your orchestration. It was like another way. I'm telling you, it has that transatlantic feel without the transatlantic playing. There's two different sides, right?
It definitely has more like a more kind of prog rock kind of.
It does atmosphere.
Yeah.
And I mean, it had so much more liveliness to the songs, and the band sounds even different from the last band. Like the last album sounds this is more different. I think with this album, this was should have been a jumping point from there. Okay, we just came back. We did 2 albums. This is our third one as revitalizing what we're doing. This is I gave it 8.5. Maybe other people would probably be 7.5. I just think it's great. What else? And I wrote, if they can keep up the sound for the rest of the other albums to date, I'll be sadly mistaken, because I thought they were a one-trick pony with Final Countdown. That's what I wrote. 8.5. I really dug it. I thought that was great, especially coming from Secret Society. To me, it was a really good jump. So John, where are we putting this?
Yeah, like I say, it's borderline. It's definitely a high lawnmower, low bitchin' for me.
We will go above Start at the Dark. It's better than Start at the Dark. Okay. I think it's the lawnmower. I think it's good too. With 8.5, don't get me wrong. Lawnmower's great. So
Your ratings don't make any sense anyway.
what?
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 8.5, and you're like, I'm okay with it being a lawnmower.
I have to be. It says rating. I have no choice.
No, you don't. You can fight it, and then
No. At the end, I
he
can
gets to
fight
put
it.
it.
Well,
You
hey,
can, but
at the end he can fight it, but
Well, but I mean, he can be like, I disagree. I think this album is.
If I
Obviously, he has to put
disagree,
it in lawnmower because that's what JM said.
I'm just saying, if I disagree, that's going against his opinion, which his opinion means more than what I say at that moment. Like right now, you have Bag of Bones. If you gave it a 10 and I gave it a 5, I have to respect your 10 until the end of the show when I put it back down to 5. See what I mean? You got to play the game here. Got to play the game. You didn't give it a 10, did you? I hope not. No.
The day I give anything a 10,
that
a
would be
unicorn
interesting.
magic rainbow day.
Unicorn
Because 10 is
that would be
perfection.
the end of the show.
That
would
is
be the end of
perfect.
the
There's
show.
there's nothing else that you need to listen to in your ear holes if something is a 10.
When you give us the album at the end, isn't that a perfect album to you, or are you just picking an album that you really like?
That one. I just pick an album I really like.
Really?
That I
thought you were giving me a 10. Like,
no.
That 10 to you.
That I feel like you guys also have not listened to.
Oh.
So you're playing the wheel of the wheel.
Sure.
That's what I thought you were giving us a 10. Like, hey, this is a 10 to me. I want you guys to listen to it and tell me what you think.
No,
That's what I was going to do. I was going to give you a 10.
Yeah.
Like, this is the 10. What do you think? So
I think I'll break your heart. That's what I think.
Womp womp. All right.
I don't even know what I was going to do, but anyway.
Yeah, well, you got 2 weeks, so figure it out.
Good time. I don't have a lot of notes on this one either. They're getting heavier in their newer stuff, which I like for sure better. But I do think that Last Look at Eden was a better album than this one was.
I agree
So,
a lot.
I thought, especially comparatively, this
Sure.
one, meh. Like, it's,
What you gave it a 5?
it's meh is a 4.
Oh. Okay. Is it better than Out of This World? I would think so, right?
Is that Out of This World?
Yes.
Yes.
Out of This World is meh.
Yeah,
I would think it's better than.
I have Out of This World as being a hair better than Bag of Bones.
Okay.
I mean, I only listened to a couple tracks. I got somehow YouTube fucked with me, and I was not happy with it. So, from what I heard, though,
it is okay. This is one of those. It's fine because everybody had a problem. We had to go to YouTube and fucking bullshit. I hate when you have to do that. It's stupid.
Is that the one that started out with riches to rags or something? And
yeah.
There was some other dumb shit, and I was, whatever. Yeah. So I heard that song and maybe like the second song, and I was like, oh yeah, that sounds pretty much the same.
6.
No, I didn't even give it a rating.
Fair enough. It's not on your call, anyways. It's on Shannon.
On Shannon.
So it
I was
doesn't
hoping
matter.
I was hoping that I would not get bag of bones. It's like,
You
that's all I
son
got.
of a bitch. You son of a bitch. You.
And to be fair, I only got through halfway through Walk the Earth. So
I gave it a 7. I think you're hitting the point of it's the newer stuff is they're starting to hone on, especially the bar sound to me, it's called. I feel like I call it the bar sound where they can go to any bar, any club, and they sound great live because it's just hard rock, right? Everybody loves hard rock, and it's an enjoyable hard rock because you can hear what he's saying. The band's really good. You know what I mean? I feel like it had that Eden sound, but it just didn't execute to it. And I mean, I gave it a 7. It's starting to be a little lackluster, but it's still enjoyable to listen, better than some of the other ones. Like I can listen to the whole album and be okay, but it's not like, hey, I want to put this one first. It's like, no, it could be third. You know what I mean? So I gave it a 7. 6.5, 7. There you go. But it's in meh. So we put it in meh. All right. Chugging through. Got a couple old ones.
As
Got a
we
couple
do.
new ones. Shannon, what are we crocheting tonight?
I'm still working on my mosaic overlay blanket.
Cool. It looks like one of those like the 3D posters. Remember those?
Just look at it. Relax your
Already?
eyes.
Hold on.
Oh, you want to get deep focus.
it's a dolphin.
When do I get to see the sailboat?
I don't understand. Wings
Whose is
of
this? Is that mine? Oh, that's yours. Okay.
That is mine because you had the last one. No, she had the last one. Then it's me, then you.
Then I get the next one.
Yeah, you
I got
started
it.
the show.
Word.
Yeah,
I did.
word.
Yeah.
Word to your mother. All right. Wings of Tomorrow. Surprise, surprise. This is my favorite. This is my favorite one of them. I gave it a 9. I gave it a straight 9, and I couldn't believe I gave it a 9. I was like, do I like Europe? What? So I'll quote,
Yourself.
you have your whole life to make your first album, right?
Yep.
But you have a short amount of time to make your second one, right? So to me, this was a really stellar second album compared to, a lot of bands' second album. Like you have the Megadeth, going from Killing to Peace Cells. I mean, you could even say Ride the Lightning, you know what I mean, to kill them all to Ride the Lightning. Some people will disagree with me, but I think it's true. I personally think this is a great album. I wrote the guitar solos, singing, and even the drumming. When you have double bass in your drumming, I was like, Europe has double bass in it? No freaking way. And it sounds good too. Like that's what it should be for a band of that. Like it threw me off. I couldn't believe it. And we're talking 84. Like that's pretty amazing for going from 83 to 84. It's a leap and bounds. For me, it is. I'm kind of disappointed. It's I wish I put these in quotations. I can only hope the rest of the album sound just as good as this one. Man, I was let down.
Oh, man.
Poor
No,
Pat
okay.
Mark.
Now, you're getting boo-hoo. I wrote this also. Shannon, remember we talked about last time about production?
Yes.
Did you hear the production of this album compared to the other productions of albums? Did you notice the old style, like he's singing in a tin can, the big open sound of everything? this is what I was talking about production. The newer stuff coming out is cookie cutouts. They really are, right? When you listen to stuff back in the 80s, it's a whole different way. They try to remaster to today. Sometimes it doesn't transfer over. I think I was listening to the 84 sound. It sounded great, man. Man, I love that sound back in the day. It just had something with it. You know, the guitars were a certain like volume and the bass of it. And I gave it a 9. To me, this is shredding. No joke. For me, it's shredding.
Do you want to go or should I go?
I don't have a whole lot to say.
Okay.
On top of that, this was also my number 1 album of theirs.
Okay.
I think this is everything worked in this album. I think this is their most re-listenable album.
Right.
Now, for me, it's a 7 out of 10. So solidly in Vision.
Solid. Solid. Hey, 7 out of 10 is, I mean, even if you look at the ratings of a lot of the albums, 7 out of 10 is great too, you know, for being their second album. Everybody always says thirds, like the third album, a lot of bands is like the pinnacle. Technically, Countdown could be their pinnacle, but for me, this is their pinnacle.
We haven't gotten there yet.
I know, I'm being a Debbie Downer. Go ahead.
You're jumping the gun.
Johnny Boy.
JM, how much did you hate it?
Do you call him JM? Is that what you call him all the time? JM?
Yeah.
Do you?
Most of the time. Yeah.
Really? That's fine.
I would say 83% of the time.
83% of the time.
Me.
Definitely.
Well, that's a
83% of the time, every time I call him JM.
Same. Yep.
Every time. Go ahead, John.
Maybe we're listening to different albums.
Well, John,
I don't.
answer this question for me. How did you listen to that album, John?
I listened to this album on a Bluetooth speaker at my kitchen table.
You gotta get that.
Believe me, the speaker. Well, the way the room is set up,
yeah,
the acoustics in the room with the Bluetooth speaker are not terrible. So,
John, I swear to the almighty Satan, if you give this a 5, I will lose my shit. You gave it a 5, didn't you? You son of a bitch.
So,
He did.
So I put that there are a couple songs. The Scream you can hear, like the Deep Purple influence that they have.
I didn't put that together. Okay, all right. Which makes sense. I mean, they're from Europe too.
Aphasia is probably the best song on the album.
Aphasia's great.
What'd you call it?
I felt like the solos were very sloppy and out of place.
Huh.
And I also the Dance the Night Away, they tried to be heavy and they failed. And I don't know how many times I had to skip songs on this album. I lost count. And that is why I gave it a 4.
Yeah, good thing
I'm excited to know which one is your number 1. I think I have
He
a guess.
doesn't have a number 1 because they're all arbitrary 6s.
Okay, there's still going to be a number 1.
There's
still going to be an album that's the best album.
Do you
have a best album?
Yeah, do you have a best album?
Do you have a favorite album?
No.
Damn. I was going to guess which one I thought it would be.
We might have different numbers, Shannon, but we understand what a good album is. Sorry, John. You gave it a 4? Really? Like, I can understand Back of Bones and like Out of This World. I mean, like, all right. Good thing I got it in shredding. Holy fuckness. No, that's not a word.
We'll see if he switches
should
it
be.
for you.
It should be. You son of a bitch. Don't put ideas in his head.
It's just to fuck with you.
He would do that, wouldn't he?
How long have you known me for? How long have you known me for, Mark?
Oh, I'm totally fucked. Totally fucked. All right, whose turn is it? It's
Shannon's turn.
Mark's gonna make himself go last now, just to make sure that doesn't happen.
No, actually,
No, I
I'm
think
gonna
it's
go first.
Diane.
Yeah, it is you because it was Shannon then me. I am last, to be honest. Not by design. I can go first. I could care less.
It doesn't
It's Europe.
matter.
It's Europe.
It's Shannon's turn. So what did we
Yeah.
get? What are we looking at?
I
Walk
thought
of
it's
the
your
Earth?
turn, JM. Don't you go after? Are we not
No, I
going in
just-
order?
Oh, is it my turn? I don't know.
Yeah, it's your turn.
Oh,
Well,
that
okay.
was yours. That's right, because you're praising
Yeah.
the almighty wings of tomorrow.
That's right.
Whatever.
What do we just walk the earth? That's what's up.
Yep. Walk the earth.
Yeah, I don't really have notes on that because, like I said, I only got through about half of it. But
All right. Well, with the half that you had,
I mean, it goes right along with.
that's your last
yeah.
album too.
Yeah, it's the most recent one, and
Yeah.
it's still, it's in the heavy, it's in the prog rock stuff. Seemed like it was getting in the 5 to 6 range for me.
Okay. Fair enough. Shannon.
Yeah, I like Kingdom United. I
Mm.
like that song. Thought that was
I did too.
that's
I
pretty
like
dope.
that one.
That was a good
Yeah.
one.
I did enjoy that one. I think that was the last song that I heard.
Nice.
Was it the last one? No, Wolves. Wolves was the last one I heard.
GTO was pretty good too. I did like that solo
yeah,
in it.
yeah,
That was pretty
yeah.
good. Had a
That's
little
solid.
double bass in some of these songs, only for like a couple bars, but there was a couple double kicks. I was like, oh, that's a nice little addition. You know.
Yep,
Yeah,
that
yeah. I
was-
mean, solid lawnmower for me. For me, it's
yeah,
6 out of 10.
I gave it a 6 also. It's kind of like when they came back, they're keeping the same sound. They might veer off a little bit, but it still sounds like bar music to me. I feel like that's their second life as a band. They're bar music, you know.
They're definitely club guys for sure.
Club, yeah. We're going lawnmower, yeah. I guess that's
Going to Jack's.
yeah.
Oh,
See him at Jack's.
Mm. All right, Shannon. We're down to 4.
I don't think they would go to L&B's. That's probably too low for them. But
We did.
Well, I know
We're low as can go, my friend.
well, I mean,
Down
I'm saying,
here.
like, yeah, I
We're
mean, yeah,
not up here. We're down here.
I mean, they did have some good pizza there though at L&B's.
They had a pretty big area too. I liked it a lot better than Cue Balls.
Yeah,
I
oh
think
yeah.
it's better. It's better than Cue Balls. Oh.
What's not
Oh.
better than Cue Balls?
Free drinks.
That's fair to say.
You get the very first album, which is self-titled. What smug assholes that call themselves their self-titled. Hey, let's
Yeah, I
just
don't
call
know.
it Europe. Oh, done.
Hey,
isn't that what most of them do anyway, though?
not.
That's usually the third, the fourth album when they want to be different. They
Yeah.
use their name as the title, which
Or you like 13 if you're Dream Theater, but don't mind that. Which
yeah,
I actually like that one. That's one of my
I do
favorites.
too. I do too. I hear you.
We'll get into that one in the re-listen.
When we go in February, when we
We
listen
go
to the
February.
new album. Yes.
Yep.
We already have February set up. We're good.
Yep.
Head of schedule. All right.
It's a debut album. It's fine. I don't care. 4 out of 10.
Okay.
It's been
Your ratings are so great. I love them. It's so good. 4. I didn't like their faces on the back
Sure.
of the album, so I gave it
Whatever.
a 4.
yeah. I mean, to be fair, this album cover is very poor, especially like Wings of Tomorrow's like a solid looking album.
It is. It has a
This is
Judas
just like-
Priest type of feel to it too, with the wings of like an eagle.
right.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So
Yeah.
I gave it a 7.5 for a debut album. I feel like it was just really simple and like to the point, solid. Like it was just a very simple album. The solos were really good for being a debut album too. Like I feel like they were pretty good for being 83. They had.
I didn't think they were memorable at all, though. Like, I don't think there's anything. I didn't write anything down about this album being memorable.
I feel like the solos are just another layer to the cake. It wasn't like, hey, let's put sparklers on it. The solos are sparklers, right? This is just, okay, layer after layer after layer. They even had double bass for an 83 album. Let's think about that for a minute. Double bass in an 83 album. Really, at that time,
That
Metallica wasn't doing it. Exodus didn't have a debut album. Slayer didn't have double bass. So they were first before thrash metal even had it. And they're from Sweden. Like they knew what was better, right? So overkill, maybe. Except, Fast as a Shark. Right? I mean, they're from Europe over there too. So I'm thinking Accept had a little bit to influence this album a little bit too, to a certain degree. Somewhat. To me, I think one of the big points, it has a classic rock feel to it too. For me, it does. Like it has a classic rock that goes into like a new hard rock, not hard rock because we think of it differently. It's just a different variation of what the rock was in the 70s. They just made it into a different style in the 80s, like the beginning of it. So I gave it 7.5. That was me. I told you, man, I was really listening to these albums. I really tried to get into it. Like it was the only album I listened to, and that was it. So a little too much. I might have had 2 Red Bulls.
Yeah.
Sorry, monsters.
Boy.
3?
Yes, actually.
Yeah, see? There you go. I'm telling you, my
Uh,
fucking mind reader now.
it sounded like the production was just like this is a demo.
Fair enough.
The vocals were terrible. There was nothing good at all on this album, and I skipped songs.
Okay.
JM over here getting ruthless.
You know, like 7 Door Hotel or The King in the Future to Come? No, I like those.
I don't
2.
even know what those songs are. Are they songs on that album?
Did you even listen to the album?
Yes, I did. And I said, what the hell is this that I'm listening to?
Quote unquote.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, no, it's just, it was awful.
It was horrible. All right. Man, I guess so. See, that's why you guys are here. So I'm just giving 7.5. I'm like, all right, 7.5.
Yeah, it's
Still-
music. I like listening to music.
Yeah.
8 out of 10.
Hey, yeah, it moved. They played a chord.
You're like the golden
Yeah.
retriever of
Woo.
music albums.
Where's the ball? Score.
Yeah,
Hi,
like
my
just
name's-
happy
my
go
name's
lucky.
Doug.
Like, yeah, this is all great. Everything's
Well,
awesome.
So coming from metal and coming from thrash metal to prog metal, death metal, satanic shit, and listening to this, I really have to, like, for a whole day, listen to nothing. Because, like, I was listening to Anthrax, and then all of a sudden I was listening to Start of the Dark. Totally concept, totally different realms. I'm like, All right, I got to get my mind out of Anthrax. Got to get it out. All right, I am the law. Okay. And when you listen to Europe, you're like, I wanted to give it a fair chance of my feelings of, man, I rather listen to Fear Factory. Fuck this. You know what I mean? And I was trying to be nice.
I had that
Europe might be
throughout.
watching.
Oh
I
yeah,
doubt that.
they're big fans of this show.
Might be. Might be. Say in the comments. Are you part of Europe?
Put it in the comments right there.
In the comments. Well, where is this going to go? Man?
Oh, is it
It's-
mine?
It's,
I think it's yours.
Oh, it was
yeah.
mine. It was mine. It was mine. That is correct. Yeah. Meh.
Meh. Okay.
Meh.
What part of meh is it? So we got
I'd put it in the highest meh.
that's okay. Yeah. Okay. That's cool. That'll work. And now we are down to 3. Dun dun dun. I gotta get that music. Up for copyrighted. Shit. Stream is shut.
Well, no, we got what, like, you have what, like 15 seconds before they
Yes,
start
you do.
charging you?
Oh, is it
That's
15
right.
seconds?
15
Nice.
seconds.
I was thinking it was 15 bars, and that
I
is,
wish that'd be a whole
different.
song almost. That'd be like the whole
Bars?
Depending on,
I mean, are you
Yeah.
listening to Napalm Death? Yeah.
What, I
you
mean,
only need 2
what's our
bars.
time
Yeah.
signature?
5-7. All right. This is
Secret
Secret
Society.
Society.
I'll tell you this much. Going from Start from the Dark to Secret Society is a total fucking night and day for me. Like, I gave a 5. I did not like this album. To me, this sounded like a demo album altogether. Like, it was just demos. They're like, all right, we'll just put it out. The production was horrendous to me. It was terrible. That's why I make always a great production. This did not have. This was like, hey, let's record in a home studio and we'll just put it out underneath our own label. That's what this was. It was. The singing was good though. I can appreciate the singer. I feel like every album he sings, he does a good enough job for the band as it should be. Especially the newer stuff, you could tell when it got to the last 2. I was like, "Oh, you're pushing hard. You're trying. You're getting to a C note, a B maybe, not an A like you was. Not the nut holding. You can't do that. You're not in Countdown anymore. Like I can at least. I think that's another reason the sound." Personally changed to the bar sound because you don't need to be in that register anymore to play bar music. Like, you know what I mean? When you play the hard rock, you're in standard D. They even had some drop Ds, D tuning. You really don't need to hold your nuts to go to fucking D. You know what I mean? And I gave it a 5. It was a miss. That was complete miss. This to me, it's a meh. It's a meh.
As well, it should be.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's also where I would have put it. I
Yeah.
have one note.
Simple. Go.
One note. What are you even doing? 3 out of 10.
Fair enough. Maybe I was nice to give him a 5. Shit.
I mean, I kind of feel the same way because I too gave it a 5.
Yeah.
I said I think because I feel like I said, when they started the new Europe, I think he was trying to find where his vocals were. Like I said,
Yep.
Starting the Dark had that older style vocals, and then this one he was trying to find. I don't know. It sounded like, and it took me. I had to search because I was like, he sounds like another singer. And it sounds like there's this band from around the same time that this album came out called Blood Simple. That was more hard rock kind of, and he sounds very similar to that guy.
I never heard of that band. Interesting.
Or a group called Baroness.
I know Baroness.
Okay. Kind of sounds like that guy, like that singer.
Okay. You know, when they went from
me anyway.
When they went from Start from the Dark, they came in really, and see, that's where my years got behind, because I thought this was the first coming back. I'm like, oh, that's why it sounds like shit. I'm like, oh, okay, they're starting over, but it's not. This is Start, then this one, and then it comes back to Eden. I'm like, what happened? That makes it worse. In my head, it just makes it worse. I'm like, what the fuck happened? And it's like, all right, well, hey, we all have reloads, right?
Yeah. And I can't even read the last note I have on there because I started getting into the spiral of the notebook, so I don't know what.
It probably doesn't matter. It sucked. You know what I mean?
Not really.
It fucking sucked. Europe sucks. Sorry, Europe. Not the country, just the band. Sorry. Add the disclaimer.
I mean, I said it sounds like the same as the last album, which is probably not very correct. And then it looks like not something, but I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care.
You were doing an Anthrax, not. All right, John. You're gonna get Countdown. Maybe not. What a funny cover too. Looks like,
I know.
Like, what the hell? Yep.
Yeah.
You get the classic, the claim to fame, Countdown.
Yeah, and that was the first song on the album.
Right? Yeah, right? Go out with a bang.
And they put all their good ideas into the very first song.
What can we all admit? Like, that is a pretty good song.
I mean, it is a pretty good song.
It is overplayed to hell.
But I bet you live is fucking awesome.
I have heard better covers of it.
I will concur that it is very overplayed, and when we get into other bands that have some ridiculously overplayed songs, we'll get there too. But yeah,
so I feel excited for that day.
I feel like the solo, like I've been
the Metallica solo, and Enter the Sandman's overplayed. That's a good one.
I love it though.
That's a great song.
I think that song's horrible as fucking shit.
I sing my children to sleep with that song.
You can go to hell, sir. First of all,
I did when I saw it. Sorry, go ahead.
I don't know, man. It still pumps me up, dude. It's still like
I'd rather listen to Blackened or Master of Puppets. I mean, Master of Puppets is starting to be overplayed now too. Like,
thanks a lot.
Well, that's thanks to Stranger Things.
I know. I'd rather listen to Battery or Damage Incorporated, but that's a side note.
I really like Orion, but that's
sure.
We're not talking about Metallica.
Yeah, something better.
We're talking about Europe.
We're talking about fucking Europe.
Yeah, again, like for some reason I seem to focus on the guitar solos just being random and out of place.
Okay.
And
you said that a lot about Europe. Like, you're saying a lot of their solos are like, why did you do this?
Why is that there? Like, it's just weird. And I don't know. I guess again, you can hear the other influences like Deep Purple and like Led Zeppelin and stuff throughout.
I'm going to blow your mind when I talk, John, and you're hitting what I'm going to talk about. It's the influence. When I say this album, you're like, that makes sense.
But then I was like, they end up just being like the European version of Whitesnake.
Well played. Yes. Wow, that's damn,
And
John.
so-
That's good analysis. Fuck yeah.
And so that's why it gets a 4.5.
Well, you're being generous.
I know it.
Shannon, I'm guessing a 3.
No, sir. You are incorrect.
Wow. Damn.
I gave it a 4.
Made me lose my glasses. Damn it, Sonny. You're making me lose my glasses. I'm
Yeah,
guessing,
so it was super commercial. There's no heaviness in this album. And as we know, heavier is always better.
right?
Heavier is always better. And I think this is where the synthesizer and the keyboards really came in. And they were like, let's capitalize on that.
Mhm.
I got the band name and the album. You're like Van Halen, 1984.
Yep.
They were trying to be Van Halen at that time. 80s. I mean, this came out in 86.
And Van Halen, 1984, came out in 1984, so that makes sense.
They were trying to be Van Halen. And, to be honest, they kind of took it and they were trying to make it into their own Van Halen 84 in some way. I mean, let's look at Prisoner. What is it? Wings of Tomorrow to Final. That's total fucking night and day. That to me is Injustice, Metallica. Total night and day. Literally,
Yeah.
And coming from that, you're right. The synthesizer, the keyboard, when you listen to the first 2 albums, of course, I gave it a 7 and a 9. And you go to this, you're like, that's not Europe. You're like, no. Somebody got in their ear and like, hey, the 80s, synthesizers is the fucking way to go. The last 2 albums didn't have no synthesizers. None. Not a speck of it. And I had to re-listen to those 2 because I did like the albums. I did listen to them twice. I'm like, I don't hear maybe a piano, but I gave it 4.
I was surprised overall listening to Europe because naturally the only thing I knew from them was the Final Countdown.
And
So
that terrible ballad Carrie, but anyway.
A lot of
I
people
didn't even know that.
They do know that song Carrie. I didn't until I realized people were doing covers of just Carrie. I'm like, really? I'm like, oh, huh. All right, interesting. Yeah, it's the only thing I liked about the album is the singing. The dude can belt out some notes. I give him that. Maybe behind shitty music, but he can belt out some notes. Where are we putting this, John?
Oh, this is mine? Oh, shit.
Yes, it is. I know. Isn't it hard?
I mean, I know that we all gave it basically a 4.
Pretty much.
It's borderline dumpster fire.
Right? That's what I'm saying, man. It is borderline. It really is.
It's,
Can we agree that we can have more than one in the dumpster?
wait a minute. Was that a thing? Are we only
No,
allowed
it
one?
wasn't.
No, it wasn't. But
No, it wasn't. I always felt like shredding and dumpster should only have one in it, but I'm okay with multiple. This is borderline dumpster for me too. I hear you.
It is very low meh, like it's borderline dumpster fire, man. Like
Personally, I think Secret Society is worse, but
I mean, yeah, Secret Society is not great either.
So Countdown's better than Secret. So that puts it in the meh. Meh. Is it better than Bag of Bones?
No, not for me.
Not from
Not
what
for
I
me
heard
either.
on. Not from what
No.
I heard on Bag of Bones.
Yeah, not me either. So okay. We can at least okay. That's I'll tell you what, that is close to dumpster for me. Like I thought it would be like when you get so to we have to acknowledge this is their pinnacle album, to be honest. This is their claim to fame album, but I really didn't see no appeal to it. Like
Nope.
it
There
maybe I
were-
need to be during that time. I don't know. I feel like if they just released the single, the countdown, whatever,
Yep.
they didn't need another album or nothing. That's all
Yeah,
they can live on that money for the rest of their lives.
yeah. I'm
know?
looking at this. I'm just looking at the track listing, and like some of these songs are like, you're like, oh man, this is going to be a great song, like "Rock the Night" or like "Ninja." I mean, how great of a title track is that?
Mhm.
I
And
listen
then
to
you're
crack my ass up.
horribly disappointed.
And
So
yeah,
much
and then
happiness. Ugh.
ugh, and like Cherokee, I thought he was saying something completely different. I actually had to look at it and go, oh, that's what he's saying.
It almost had Trail of Tears vibes to it too.
Yeah,
A little bit. I was like, all right. I don't know if I want to make
yeah.
that reference.
It was just not a good album in my opinion.
No.
Again, right in the comments, right down there.
If you like Europe, tell me your albums, because right now, this is kind of yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm. But Shannon, you get the very last one.
War
War
of Kings.
Kings. Yes.
Yeah. I like this one well enough. This is my second favorite album by them.
Huh. Okay. All right.
I gave it 6 out of 10.
What did you
So-
like about it? Like, what made you?
It was just, I don't know, it was just heavier.
Okay.
Maybe I was in a
all
good
right.
mood.
That's fair enough.
That depends. Yeah.
It did have heaviness to it. I do. That is something I wrote too. I was like, oh, we got a little bit deeper of the tones here. So, the drumming had a very heaviness of, okay, we're getting back to something. You know what I mean? I think
Yeah,
its
that's-
singing, though, was kind of, you could tell it's on this last leg. You know?
Well, I mean, these
and this,
guys
you
are
know,
like what 60.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I feel like this one maybe had I wrote like bluesy ? Like some bluesy sort of influences maybe.
I mean, I did give it a 7. I thought it was good. I feel like it can hold its place in the new Europe, if you will, like how they started. I feel like it's, you know how like Accept had those runs of those albums that are like they could sound the same when they came back. This is Europe has that same
Yeah.
feel, except Secret Society, which I could care less about. If you
I
didn't
don't-
have that one, I feel like every album is a 7 at least in the later part of their career. So, but where are you putting this?
I gave
Sean?
it a 6.
Okay,
You know,
fair enough.
very, prog rock feel.
the
I
highest
feel
of
like they were-
lawnmower.
I feel like they were doing, like they were kind of getting to like a formula with the album.
Mm.
Okay, here's a question for you, John, is when you say prog rock feel, they didn't get out of 4/4. So what would it be feel to you? Because I had that same thought. I'm like, they're not getting out 4/4.
And I guess maybe it was just that it had like your transatlantic kind of Dream Theater kind of vibe to it, even though it was still just in 4/4.
The atmosphere of
The atmosphere of the prog rock atmosphere feel, even though
See,
it's
that's why Countdown could have been a lot better if they didn't heavy into the sense of beep boops and just
Right.
had atmosphere like they used it in the later. I'm like, that's how you fucking use that shit. And you could sprinkle in some stuff, but you know what I mean? It's
yeah, and I did like the end of Light It Up when just you had those double kicks going at the end there. That was pretty
sprinkled
great.
in. It's one of those bands that when you hear them sprinkle in stuff, you're like, okay, I
Makes sense.
like that. It's not an overabundance, not a heavy taste of stuff, and you know what I mean. Yes, the vocals is the highlight, if you will. The guitar parts are kind of the secondary, So yeah, certain
Yeah.
way. So okay, now we get to the part where we hurt feelings and laugh about it as we go to bed crying for what we did. Who wants to go first?
I'll go.
Okay. John, where do you want to move?
I am moving Secret Society to Dumpster Fire.
Fine.
Now, which one's the worst dumpster fire? Paradise or this? Or Secret?
Which one are you throwing gasoline on?
Yeah, which one has a bigger flame to it?
I mean, I would say that probably prisoners needs the gasoline for sure.
You know what? I will not disagree with that to you. Now and then. It's still shit, but it's a golden turd. Do you want to go next, Shannon, or do you want me to go next?
The only thing that I would do is move Wings of Tomorrow from shredding to bitchin'.
Okay, we can do that. Okay. It's still a good category. Which
Not a
for
bad
me,
category.
Wing, what is it? Self-titled. It needs to go in bitchin'. It goes right behind the first two. I believe the first two is their best two of the earlier stuff. I can at least respect it. And if I was going to say, hey, this is Europe, I probably would give them Wings of Tomorrow and be like, here's Europe. For me, that's my favorite one. I could have been an asshole. Nah, it goes back up to shredding.
I would have been more okay with that.
I think the first two are together bitching. I think back and back they're good.
No.
I think so.
No.
I mean,
No.
that's your opinion, dude.
Well, okay. End of the show.
The only one that I would consider revisiting, like, yeah, let me re-listen to that one, is Wings of Tomorrow. I have zero desire to listen to any of the other albums.
So
So basically what you're saying is I have to listen to Wings of Tomorrow again.
I think you do, John. I really think you missed the point of it. I think wasn't there an album I needed to re-listen to? Like a couple that I had to? Oh, I forgot. Shit. Never mind. Yeah, it does count. There was one I did re-listen to and I forgot to say, yeah, I understand, blah blah blah. I can't remember. No notes.
I did, speaking of listening to albums though, I did listen to
Lacuna Coil.
Yeah, the Comely's XX.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I did not get a chance for that, so it's on my list of things to listen to.
I agree that one's solid. It has made it into my library officially.
What is it?
The Comely's XX from Lacuna Coil.
It is. I'll tell you what, it makes the album so much better for me. For me, I think they took it and just made it. You like the original one.
Yeah, that was their best album. And
it made it even better than that album, I think.
I agree. Yeah. I agree.
So, John, what's your favorite album from Europe?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Cares, pick one.
yeah, pick one. It doesn't matter.
Can we? Well, let's look at it from this point of view.
I would say, I mean, for me, it's a toss up between like Last Look of Eden and War.
I can go with that. I can go with Last Look at Eden too. I think that was John made a really good point. You got two bands. You got old Europe and new Europe. Me being Wings is kind of the old style. I think that's their pinnacle of old stuff. Their new stuff, Last of Eden, to me, which I can agree with that too. So any of those two albums, I'd be like, here you go. You know, when it's an 8, I can say solidly, I at least will think you will like half of it. You know what I mean? At least to that part.
I think Europe is supremely average and skippable. Average at best.
Average.
Fine, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, out of the 9 out of 11 albums that are skippable, sure.
Now let's look at it from this point of view. Are we considering Europe a glam band? Are they a glam band or was a glam band? Now they're hard rock.
Yeah, like it's definitely one of those like they transitioned, right? Like again, because
Sure.
there was just they are two separate bands from
Like New York Dolls, I feel like did kind of a transition of it too.
Yeah.
You know, in their own way. I can at least listen to Europe more than New York Dolls in that realm.
I don't think I've listened to New York Dolls since
Right. What are you doing, Lee? Get off my show. What is that, Rudolph? What in the hell? That's a narwhal with Rudolph, I think. I can't tell. All right. That's Europe. If you don't like it, second egg. All right.
That was this. It was the first albums were hard to listen to.
Really?
It was
Man,
difficult. It was difficult for me. It was difficult for me because I was like, "What the hell is this shit?
Well,
What have we gotten ourselves into?"
When I listened to the first two, I was like, "Oh man, they started out pretty good, and now they're going to go to shit." I was like, "Man, this sucks." I was like, "There's 11 albums. I know as soon as I get the countdown, it's going to go downhill." I was right, but I didn't think I would like the first two and be like, "Wow, they were." If let's think hypothetically, if they at least stuck to that sound and they got rid of that filler, they had the first two, and then you get to Start of the Dark. That's a pretty good career. Instead of being the prison one or whatever, dude, they just had the ship course went way off.
Yeah, they just took the wheel and spun it and said,
I
"Wherever
know.
we go, that's where we go."
Well, I think a lot of these bands get influenced by record companies, producers.
Oh, for sure.
They get segued to the new. I wish Europe would have stuck to it and not went to that glam route, and we might have a different band. I don't know.
Are we going to start working on a time machine?
We're going to do that. I want to at least go somewhere else than do that. We'll figure out something else. All right. So what are we doing? Are we going to figure out what Shannon's album is, or do you want to spin the wheel for the next show? Which I see you sent a message, Shannon, with the band.
Yeah, that's mostly just so that you get it right.
Okay.
So you
No, the-
clearly sent it to him, but not me. That's fine.
It's in the group. It's in the
It's in the
Facebook
group.
Messenger. It's in Messenger. But don't take it away from Shannon. This is her.
Oh, there it is.
yes.
Shannon,
My
please tell
Messenger
us.
is weird.
Please
The
tell us
band,
what are we listening to?
the band is Polar.
Polar. Okay.
Polar.
Polish.
The album is Shadowed by Vultures.
What? Huh. All right.
That sounds sinister.
Well, I can appreciate that. Let's go to Google. Let's check this out. Shooby-dooby-doo. All right. Gigi and Polar.
So yes. So this, I mean, this is a studio album, which
Okay.
I know I was talking like, oh, we could pick live or we could pick, whatever. But I also felt like this was something you guys had not heard. I wanted
Okay.
to share it with you.
So, how did we, as you, get into this band? How did you get in this band?
Someone probably was just like, you should listen to them. And I'm like, okay.
Okay. All right. Well, sometimes you
So I'm gonna
We're
have to
like-
find this on YouTube. Is that what we're doing here?
Oh God, no, it's on Spotify. You're good.
What?
Yeah, it's on Spotify.
so
call it shenanigans.
Polar is a hardcore band in Surrey. Yes?
Sure, that sounds right.
Um
I mean, the UK, yeah. So
UK. Okay. Yeah, there it is. Shadow. Okay, in 2014.
Oh,
This
there
is in Sweden. They wrote it in Swede.
Oh, those Swedes.
Stan Swedes. Okay, they're a British band. Okay. Oh no.
What the fuck am I looking at?
There's another band called Polar Bear. It's not Polar Bear.
no,
Um
I'm
all right.
sending you a link, JM.
Yeah, please
Yeah.
do that because this is.
Okay.
I don't think this is the correct one that I'm looking at.
Cool. Okay. So the band's called Polar and the album's called Shadowed by Vultures. Okay. Now, when we come back in 2 weeks, hint, hint, Polar Express. My brother said.
Oh, just listen.
Okay. So
You will not get Polar Express vibes. I tell you that right now.
So when we come back with this album, we're going to listen to it and rate it and give our opinions. Are you giving a rating and opinions of the album also?
Yeah, why not?
Just asking. The criteria's details. Okay. So that's a bonus one. We're going to be doing bonus ones. Okay. So when we come back, we'll have that to start the show to give our opinions about Polar Express.
Shadow of Vulture.
It is near Christmas, though. It is pretty good. It is near Christmas. Okay. But,
Sure. You
Sure.
tell me after you listen to it if you get Christmas vibes.
all right. Shake, shake, shake. Got it. Okay. All right. But for now, let's spin that wheel. What are we guessing? I'm guessing we are going to get just a metal band. An old school 70s metal band. Here you go.
Starting with what letter?
D?
How many E bands are there?
No, I said D.
I thought you said E. I was
D.
like, how many
No, I
old
said D.
school metal
D.
bands start with E?
Is that Dead Mouse, Lee? Dead Mouse? Ooh, what are we getting? It's so good you can't even see the writing is so small. The Ramones.
Oh,
Hey,
man.
it was 70s. All right. Oh, man.
Hey.
There are
Yes.
so many songs I don't know, and then there are so many songs that I'm like, man.
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 Let's go. All right. Let's see. Ramones. Man. That is
That is-
one band.
That
I've
I
never-
will enjoy listening to.
Yeah. Hell yeah. The Ramones. Let's see. Do. Huh. Come on, Google. Work your magic.
Google.
Where are you, Vicky?
Google. Robert Goulet. Tell me you know what I'm talking about, John.
Good grief.
Yeah,
What?
they have a lot.
Do they?
Well, there's a lot of like remastered and
Yeah, see, that's where we're going to have to like sift through. Because
That's-
studio album, they got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14.
but
So they
I
got-
imagine that they're pretty short.
That's what I'm thinking too.
I mean, considering they've got released in 76, 77, 77, 78, 80, 81, 83, 84, 86,
That's that
87,
punk-
89. Like,
That's
this
that
is
punk rock.
bananas.
Yeah. Bananas. BAN. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean the first album is 29 minutes and 15 seconds. I think we'll be fine.
Oh, yeah, no, this will be all right. Right.
Yeah, I think we'll be okay. Let's see. Why can't I see fucking shit? Window done. There you go.
There it is, right there.
And you know what's funny? Sorry, not funny, which is really cool. Everything charted for them in the US. Like even the self-titled all the way up, everything at least stayed in the hundreds as an average. That's pretty cool. Huh. That is kind of wild. They have 2 albums in the same fucking year. But that's punk rock, dude. That's what punk rock is. This is cool, man. I've never listened to a Ramones like all the way through.
Yeah, I've just picked and choose songs. So
Sure.
yeah, this will be fun.
Sedated and Pet Cemetery and you know.
Blitzkrieg Bop and
Oh yeah, that's right. That you might as well say that's their ultimate
their-
song.
biggest hit right there. That's the
Yeah.
first track off the first album.
See, there you go.
Little preview of the next show right there.
All right. Polar in the Ramones. Interesting.
Right.
Well, guys, that is our show. Anything you want to say? And now everybody talk at once.
I mean,
Skip
Listen to
listening to
your-
Europe.
I'd say if you want to
Yeah.
listen to them, if not, no one's feelings will get hurt.
Yeah, you're not hurt my feelings. This is a one and done for me.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
There
One
will
and done.
not be. Well, I have to listen to Wings of Tomorrow again, but other than that,
You
I mean, I
don't
don't
have
have-
to.
I don't have to. But
He feels like
apparently
he's like excluded from the group because
like I
we.
missed something.
Well, I'm not saying you missed something. Maybe you just heard something different. I think, like, when you listen to it in a car and a stereo system and a little Bluetooth, the sounds and everything could be different. You know what I mean? Like,
Sure.
stuff
Yeah,
can
no.
change.
Now, to be fair, my illustrious sister to my left. If I'm looking at the screen, she's to my right. But anyway,
No, she's to your left. You're good.
okay. See, there you go. I mean, on my screen, she's to my
Point to where she is.
She's over here.
No, other way. She's that way.
So we're mirrored. Then I'm in the middle.
Yeah,
and
yes, you
then
are.
You guys are.
she
out.
just went like this.
That way.
That way.
No, I have a much better speaker now.
Oh, somebody gifted you a better speaker, huh?
Yes, someone gifted me a speaker.
Wow, that person is really nice and probably felt bad for you. Now your scores went up 1 point every time. You can't complain. Like, oh, you had to listen to it on my phone. Oh, did you, asshole?
I mean, again, the stupid radios in the trucks at work are garbage, and they will not just
Hang on.
to Bluetooth correctly.
Did
So
you just? It's plural. So you're saying there's multiple trucks you cannot listen to
that's
with
correct.
your phone. Are you sure it's the trucks?
They're,
Just
I
saying.
mean, they're Mac trucks. The radio is exactly the same in both of them. And
Are you sure?
yes, I am.
Okay.
Yes,
All right.
I am.
All right. You know, when we look at math problems, when you have a formula and you have a constant parentheses around something, that's the constant, right?
That is correct.
So you have two different trucks. Is it more two trucks?
I mean, technically there's 4, but
Holy shit. So we got 4 trucks. That's a 25% chance you get one of those trucks to work because there's 4 of them, right?
that's correct. Yeah.
So what's the constant here?
The constant is
Your phone.
that it probably is this piece of shit phone that I have that I do need to upgrade, but we're not going to get into that right now.
I'm saying it might be you trying to get it, you're not doing it right.
But also, I'm saying that the option for Bluetooth audio does not come up on the menu of that radio in any of the trucks.
You might need a transmitter, an FM transmitter. That's what I got in my truck, my personal truck, because mine's not Bluetooth. It's an old auxiliary. It's an 09,
Sure.
right? So I have an FM transmitter. You go to like station 100.1, whatever you Bluetooth to it, bam. That's what I do. I'm not saying you need to. I'm just saying that's how my personal truck is, but my work truck is Bluetooth. So know what I mean. So
Mhm.
all right.
No, I know what you're saying. I'm just
Shannon,
I'm
thank
just
you for
telling you.
gifting a Bluetooth speaker. You're the best. Good job. Good job.
I mean, it was his birthday, so
that is true. How you feel? Old?
of course.
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah, I hear you. All right, guys. Say goodbye to the internet.
I thought we already did that.
No, we're bullshitting on the internet. Bye, internet. Goodbye.